Quamon. I'm here chilling in the car. Just got some breakfast, but I wanted to share some stuff. Today I wanted to talk about, you remember I did the video on the power of belief, and this is still going into, the whole idea of your belief. And I was just thinking here to myself, like, you're not limited by what other people believe about you, but more so, you're limited by what you believe about yourself or what you don't believe about yourself. And so I was thinking about that because, regardless of what challenges you might face, whether they are physical challenges or challenges that you don't have resources, money, or opportunities, or whatever it is, you fill in the blank, like whatever you're struggling with, if you got a good mind and you can hear your own thoughts, then you have opportunity to act on those thoughts. And the key is consistency. And I was thinking about something simple like practicing an instrument. Um, I started practicing the clarinet, and a lot of times when you're starting something new, there's a lot of unknowns. There's stuff that you're not even aware of that you don't know. But in the process of practicing, you learn and discover things. And so in that process, you can work on the things that you discover that you don't know how to do. And so the same is true with business or anything really that you're learning. The more you do it, the more you're going to discover things and even new connections that will help you even to do whatever it is that you're pursuing better. And this is a principle that applies to practicing, it applies to growing your business, it applies to starting a new career. And so we have multiple things going on in our lives as human beings. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I am a teacher, a performing artist. There's a lot of hats that I might wear, and there's a lot that I have to learn. But the thing that you do is you just have to keep showing up, keep trying to be the best husband, keep trying to be the best father, keep trying to be the best musician. And it's not the best. What I mean is doing your best. Try to do your best. And the beauty in that is as you're trying or you're aiming towards doing your best, being excellent in all of these areas, you're consistently showing up, you're growing. And so as you grow, you learn things. You listen to other, uh, let's see, like other things to challenge you and make you better in terms of like maybe, the word of God, might be a business podcast. It might be your pastor or a friend that is experienced in an area that you're not. So you're listening constantly to things that are challenging you in the sense of they're challenging your mindset, your thinking, so that you can make some changes or implement some of the things that might be a better way to go about it. You're constantly challenging your mindset. And so the thing about it, it's uncomfortable because what happens is you already have habits, you already have things that are in place. And when you get these updates, then you have to implement those into what you're already doing. But the thing about it, we are where we are because of what we've been doing, like our habits. So we are where we're supposed to be based on our thinking and our application of what we perceive and think is right, based on the information that we have at the time. So, but what happens though, as you hear things and you pray, you ask God, if you're praying, you ask God for better, or you ask God to help you. And what'll happen is he'll send situations, he'll send circumstances that cause conflict, that might challenge you, because it needs to, for you to get to that point, to have that epiphany moment and say, okay, I gotta really buckle down. I gotta do this. I've been neglecting it. Now I gotta do it. Otherwise, you're not being obedient, or you're not accepting the help that he's giving you, that you prayed for. And so that's the thing. We're limited not by external opinions, but really what's going on between our ears, in our head, our own thoughts. And so I look at what I do, and I'm always analyzing, I'm listening. And so that's why I always say the competition is not other people. The competition is myself. I got to be a better version of myself. And being a better version of yourself is not saying that you have to be perfect. All right. It's just that you have to be consistent. And as you're consistent learning, you're consistent implementing things that you learn, then you're continuing to go on that path of mastery. Mastery is basically you put in the time, you put in the hours doing a particular thing to where you're a master at it. Like when I play saxophone, I've been playing over 30 something years, improvising, what they say, spontaneous creativity. I've been doing it for so long, been writing music for a long time. So when I get into that zone, I can flow, just because I've done it for so long. And I get inspired, even as I do it. So it's like I have so many different things to access in my spirit, my mind, and body physically, you know what I'm saying? Because I've done it. Just the same way as a Steph Curry, or those guys that are basketball players that can master shooting from half court, or dribbling, Kyrie, Irving, and just maneuvering in the spirit of the moment, because they've done it for so long. KG, all of those guys. So the thing with life, you got to think about, whether it's your business, or your playing, all of those different areas, you got to think about it right. Whereas you just have to be consistent. You'll get better as you continue to be consistent. Now, your belief, you got to think about this too. You might have a set of principles and practices that you implement towards one thing that you're focusing on, like a music, if you're a musician. But then you got to think about the business, because it is a business. You are creating something that people are enjoying, that they'll pay for, whether it's a concert or whether it's streaming or listening to your music. You have something that people on the outside in are looking. You have a persona. And so you have to be responsible with shaping that persona, shaping your brand, your message, your your branding and things like that, your marketing and stuff like that, to where you can grow that aspect of yourself. Because I've seen it and I've heard from talking with promoters, venue owners, they talk about how much musicians a lot of times are phenomenal musicians, but when it comes to business and promotion, they drop the ball, and they can't get people to the concerts to enjoy their playing because they're not getting the word out. And so that's another skill That's another area that we have to be aware that we need to manage. And so you learn that in the process too. It's like, I mean, as much as we might enjoy practicing or learning and doing the things that will help us to better play, you have to work the other side of it. And of course, there's people on the other side, flip. They work more so on the external and the appearance more so than having really good content and a good voice, so we see that too. But the whole point is, it's all about what you focus on. It's all about your belief, and like what you apply your focus to keep it moving and progressing. And so, yeah, it's good to have an assessment, to make assessments of where you are today and what you need to do. I understand, and I'm learning more and more just from looking at what I do and how I present it, and trying to make those things better. And one thing that's really important, that's why I've been on this thing about belief. The thing that's really important is like your belief, like your message. And if you're continuously developing and working on your message, and if your message can be consistent, it's not even about, like I always say, it's not about being perfect. If people can connect with your message, they can follow you and they want to participate. They want to learn from you, or they want to continue consume your content because your messaging is consistent. And so I get inspired, to go live, and I know I need to be more consistent, even the times that I choose to go live. And I'm gonna do that. I'm going to implement that and go live at a consistent time. But right now, I have been all over the place. I've been shedding clarinet. I've been putting up inspirational messages or doing my podcast for the Sound Musician. But it's all good. I mean, this is part of the process, and even you're learning something from this. I'm learning something. You're learning something even that can speak to you and what you're doing. Be consistent. Be consistent. Authenticity is being natural to and true to who you are, to where it's not something that's forced. So yeah, that's very important. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Hopefully that was helpful. And also, I've been doing really pushing to get the awareness out of the Sound Musician Mentorship Program. So I teach jazz improvisation and things to help you build your vocabulary on your instrument. And we also deal with music business tactics, and help with accountability and the community you have access to if you want to grow and mature in those areas. And it is available if you go to shed.quamonfowler.com. Also, you can send me a text message at 877-360-4014. 877-360-4014 if you want to hop on a Zoom with me. All right. So that's it for now. And I look forward to hooking up with you, connecting with you, and we will see you on the next one. Okay. Let me check out these messages if anybody. Okay. All right, then we'll holler.